I think education has so much more going for it than preparing a flexible workforce. When you used that phrase, and I know how you meant it, but I slightly thought, because it makes us all sound like sprockets, you know, that we're flexible to fit into whatever role is required of us at any particular time. But education does bring a lot of other benefits, as we know. So I think health and well-being is one of them. And tell me a bit about the mental wealth work that you've been doing at CityLit, because I know that CityLit inaugurated the idea of a mental wealth festival, which Northern College then ran the mental wealth festival in the north. But I think for me, the key point of that was about celebrating the mental wealth that adult education can bring, rather than looking at a deficit model of the ways in which people have a lot of mental health issues. It's about saying, well, look what wealth you get from adult education.
I think, and I give all credit to one of our fellows, Baroness Sheila Hollins, who came to us with this idea. Sheila just said, is mental health has such a laden phraseology. I mean, people just project, and it's negative projection onto that phrase over the last few decades. The idea that mental wealth, which means that you can be in great surplus, or at certain points in your life you can have deficit. The idea that it's a range, and it's a range. Some people are in one part of the range more than others. The most of us actually move up and down the scale. And this idea that you can talk about the positive aspects of mental health, and so part of the festival looks at, actually, we had Professor Paul Dolan from the LSE a couple of years ago at the festival talking about happiness by design, and how you can actually, you know, from a very empirically based set of data, there are certain things that do make you happier. If you spend more time with friends, more time doing things rather than actually sitting and watching television and actually participating in society, there's a whole series of things that can make you happier. So that's the positive. And then there's the other part, which is we've had classes on how to deal with panic attacks, how to deal with suicide. You know, those bits there are obviously on the negatives, but it's really about having the array. And education, for me, education and well-being are absolutely inseparable. And I think we need to reclaim that territory. The idea that the Department for Education and the Department for Health are separate is a lunacy to a degree, because actually, and it was a conversation I remember having with Vince Cable, saying when he was Secretary of State for Business, I sort of said, well, you saved Jeremy Hunt and Health at that point millions of pounds a year by the adult education budget, because people aren't in A&E units, they're not in dementia homes, they're actively taking part in society and giving back to society. So well-being is really something that we need to embrace and recapture on the part of education, and say, actually, this is us.
And celebrate.
And celebrate, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's this other bit, I think, that I really feel strongly, and I know and quite a few of us do in the sector, is that actually adult education's been on the back foot for a few decades, between cuts, between a general approach in government that has been quite dismissive. I think this is our time, and I think we need to be much bolder about saying, actually, we've not just got to defend what we do, we've actually got to go and advocate that we should be doing more. You know, the Mental Wealth Festival is just one bit of what we do in terms of proactively sort of seizing the agenda and saying, actually, you know, society needs us. We're not this lovely kind of bauble that hangs on a liberal society.
What's the cliche? Underwater basket weaving that we all do, yes, and wine tasting.
Wine tasting, and you know, there's the array of adult education. I'm shameless around that. I think getting people together to learn, whatever it might be, is just a damn good thing.
I was going to ask you about